Rick Sayer was a long-term employee at the co-op. He sat on our board of directors as our staff representative for 9 years. And this organizing drive, him contacting the UFCW, was a result of his sitting on the board and realizing that employees could benefit from having a little bit more equal treatment at work. Not all employees are treated the same, and it was his actual experience that led him to begin this and bring a bunch of us with him. And his untimely death may have slowed us down a little bit, but it didn't really change the underlying circumstances, which were a call to fair treatment. He had sat in on some disciplinary things that he felt didn't really reflect the co-op's values, and that was something he was striving to bring us back to an earlier time, to when he first started working there, to create a co-op that would work for the employees and that was more in line with the co-op values.
Me, myself, I haven't had any negative experiences so far, but I've heard some pretty unfair stories and not great treatment to our coworkers, and I don't think that that's fair at all. We need equality, I want it for myself and for everyone else in the store.
I've never had any negative experiences with my coworkers or management. I know that that is the reason a lot of other people are in support of the union, and that is the first reason that I'm in support of the union. I believe that the injustices that my coworkers are feeling should be corrected, and with our current policies and procedures, they are not.
I think one of the most important values that's a cooperative value that we tout on our website is the value of solidarity, where we can all stand together and that the collective action that we do improves our lives. It enables us to enact another cooperative value, which is mutual self-help, where we are banding together to improve our conditions and make sure that everybody is taken care of, where we stand up for each other.
I've been in this union before, like a different chapter, obviously, but they can protect your job, or working with you to protect your jobs in such a way that you don't have that power if you don't have a union. I mean, management can take away whatever they want, and my sister and I used to belong to UFCW when we worked at a Kroger in Illinois, where I used to live, and she had requested some time off. We were going out of town, and she did everything right, and they approved her vacation time or whatever, and we got out there. It was like 6 hours away, and we get a call in our hotel room, and they said, "Where are you?" She goes, "What do you mean, where am I? I'm on vacation." And they said, "We need you in the store right now. You're not scheduled for vacation time." And she said, "No, I was approved for this." And so it was some sort of management error. And they said, "If you don't come in today, you're going to get fired." She got off the phone immediately, called up her shop stewards, called up the union, and said, "Look, I didn't do anything wrong. This is not my fault." And the union protected her job. They said, "No, you cannot fire her for this." And that just struck me. That was so powerful, that the system could work like that to protect your job. And they can't just fire you for any reason, for a management mistake. And that's my biggest issue. That's why I want a union. I don't want, some power that can be taken away from me. I want real power.
With a union, we would be able to drop our own contract. We would be able to write our own policies. Everyone would have a vote and a say on what gets written into that contract, and it would not be a contract that is open to interpretation, which it currently is. The contract would be backed by federal law, and it would be rights that we've all agreed on, policies that we've all agreed on, and that we would feel comfortable with.
I worked at the Sacramento Natural Foods Co-op in both the meat department and as the produce department assistant manager for over 3 years, and we were a unionized co-op down there. I also worked as a shop steward, which was an elective representative to serve my coworkers, and it was a very empowering experience for all my coworkers. We felt like we had representation. There were no disciplinary meetings that occurred in secret without a witness. We had everything documented to the letter of our contract, basically, and our contract was a very fair contract. It was something where people felt they participated in. We had regular meetings, and that there was no spurious discipline or interpretations of policy. It was all basically just a contract, and we abided by that, both on the managerial level and at the employee level. So it goes without saying that unions work to provide representation in the workplace.
I'd like to see the co-op be run more as a cooperative rather than as one person deciding everything. I'd rather see employees have more say in what happens, day-to-day operations, and have a more voice and more as a corporation. And, that's what I'd like to see, more of a unified workplace.
A union means to me that I have an actual say in how the store I work at is run.
The co-op values dovetail with union values precisely. If you look on our webpage at the Ashland Food Co-op, we dedicate a whole page to our values there. And those values include equality, where all of our employees are treated the same, regardless of who they are. Equity, where we all have the same voice in running our co-op. Democracy, which is a huge value to uphold. Basically, anything that we do in the union is going to be voted in. Our contract will be all voted on by participation of everyone. So everyone's input is going to be valued in a democratic manner.
I believe strongly in unionizing. I believe it would make for a more strong and stable work environment. I believe it would bring equality, accountability, and I would believe in the wine garden rights and transparency. I like the idea of us being able to create our own contract. Again, creating more of a democracy.
We ran our store as a whole, but I feel like we've kind of split apart, and we need to rise up and take back what is ours and make our co-op a whole again.
A measure of being able to uphold our own values and implement the values that we're supposed to be working on as a cooperative, and basically get it back to where we are in charge of our own destiny and our own capability, and give everybody a fair shake and get a chance to all work together again.
I want to form a union for the future of the co-op, not just for myself and my coworkers now, but for all the future employees to have a true democratic say and real rights in their workplace and power together.